New York's electricity prices are 66% above the national average, the third highest of any state in the country. As the nation's economic giant, New York needs power. Every year, New York is falling farther and farther behind in meeting its electrical needs, and the staggering prices of electricity just keep climbing. Many environmental groups have the solution: no more natural gas, no more nuclear, and no more coal, sources that provide the majority of New York State's power supply. So their vote is essentially no more power. And environmentally friendly sources such as wind and solar continue to meet bureaucratic snags and can provide only a small fraction of the current need. Furthermore, even when these technologies mature, they will never serve as consistently generated baseload power, as they only work when the sun shines or the wind blows.
Wind and solar have to be backed up with baseload power, in fact. When you build wind plants, you can't shut down anything else particularly, because when the wind stops blowing, you have to have that power available. They found that in Germany, where they've built a massive amount, and Denmark, a massive amount of wind energy. It has not allowed them to shut down any of their baseload plants.
Even with a mind for conservation, with every new cell phone, BlackBerry, laptop, or big screen television, New Yorkers' conservation efforts are going in reverse, adding to the electricity woes at a staggering rate. The New York Independent System Operator shows that New York will need, at a minimum, 3,000 additional megawatts of total capacity by 2017. That's enough energy to power 3 million homes. And even at existing levels, New York must increase its capacity to reliably deliver that power with upgrades and expansions to its current transmission system. Currently, certain environmental groups have the Indian Point nuclear power plant in their crosshairs, which provides 2,000 megawatts of clean and reliable power to New York, enough to power approximately 2 million New York homes. Yet Indian Point has virtually zero carbon emissions and mitigates an already intolerable air quality health crisis by reducing ozone and particulate pollution. The grade from the American Lung Association for New York City and Westchester County: F. One of the key beneficiaries of Indian Point's clean power is New York's mass transit system.
Well, I think the people who ride the mass transit system are never focused on the fact that they need energy to run that system. They assume those trains are going to be there, and they assume there's going to be the power to run them. What they don't realize is that facilities like Indian Point provide the bulk of the power for the New York City transit system. You take away Indian Point, and the question is, millions and millions of people are in their own gridlock. They can't get anywhere without a system that works. That system needs power, and the power comes from Indian Point.
The reason to keep the Indian Point plants operating is because they are safe, reliable, and cost-effective power sources, and they're clean. If you shut down Indian Point and take 2,000 megawatts out of the grid in New York, what are you going to replace it with? I mean, the fact is, a lot of lights would have to go out permanently, and a lot of industry would have to grind to a halt unless you replace it with something else. Therefore, the alternative to nuclear is a coal-fired power plant. And if that is actually put forward as the alternative to relicensing Indian Point, how many people are going to go for that? That's not an environmentally acceptable solution.
Indian Point is one of the best run plants and maintained plants that I've ever been in. I've been in most of the ones in my jurisdiction, and I've also been in 3 Mile Island and Oyster Creek, as far as nuclear plants. And I can tell you that Indian Point is one of the safest, it's certainly one of the securest. And to me, I think that Entergy spends all of the money that they need to make sure that that plant is efficient.
Don't get caught up in the hype. Get the facts. New York area. For more information, visit New York area at area-alliance.org.